Hello everyone, my name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. Welcome to my second video of the day. This is going to be my June TBR. Obviously with June being Pride Month, I have tried to include as many LGBTQ books as I can. A lot of the books that I have that are LGBTQ are gay or lesbian fiction. And yes, I understand there's more to the LGBTQ community than just gay and lesbian, but these are the books that I have. These are the books that I want to read, and I want to get my physical TBR down, hopefully a lot more this year. So this is what we're working with. Don't worry, I will read more in the spectrum in the future. I'm just putting that out there. But, so just to start off, the book that I still currently am reading, I mentioned this in my wrap up, but I'm still currently reading You'll Get Through This Night by Daniel Howell. He used to be known as Dad Is Not on Fire on YouTube. He just goes by Daniel Howell now because that's his name. Yes, this is his book, just all about like mental health. And he talks just a lot about stress and your sleeping patterns, how we eat, how we interact with others, and just anxiety and everything, just everything really as a whole. He actually worked alongside a trained psychiatrist to write this book. Like, he draws on his own experiences, but all the technical terms is from the trained psychologist. So I am almost finished. I only have this little bit left. I'm actually listening to the audiobook for it. Dan is reading it to me. But yeah, I'll hopefully get this finished soon, and I'll let you know more about it in my wrap up. And as well on my Kindle, I have book 4 in the Red Queen series, Warstorm. Almost forgot the name of it. I'm only one chapter in, but I'm just gonna take my time with this. But I am really excited to finish off the series because it's an older young adult series, but it's one that's really surprised me. I'm actually really enjoying myself. The next audiobook that I plan to listen to is for Traitor to the Throne. I have it all ready to go. I just need to like finish You'll Get Through This Night, and then I'll get into this. This has been on my TBR since March, which is a little embarrassing. But I will get into this month. I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but I would like to get a good chunk of this book read or listened to. And yes, on to the Pride Month TBR. And if you couldn't tell, I did my eyeshadow today in the asexual pride colors. I don't know if you can see. Put my glasses down. Well, I don't know if you can see, but I'm actually really proud of myself for what I did there. But anyway, the next book that I plan to read in the month of June is going to be our Introverted Reader book club pick for the month of June. We haven't had a book club pick in quite a manner of months. I haven't really been in the right headspace. I just have, the mental health has been up and down the last few months, and yeah, I haven't really been feeling it lately, but I want to get my book club back up and running. And yeah, if anyone would like to join me within the book club, you are welcome. But the book that we're going to be reading in June is Boy Queen by George Lester. This has been on my TBR for the longest, and it's honestly almost kind of borderline homophobic that I haven't read it yet. But this, I believe, is about a boy called Robin. And everything seems to be going well for him, but then everything goes wrong. And it says, now his life is a hot mess. So basically with that in mind, he kind of falls into the world of drag and, you know, creates his own little drag character, gets all dragged up and, you know, becomes a drag queen and, you know, finds himself in drag, which I'm so happy for. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I will be reviewing this month, so if anybody wants to join me in reading this, you are more than welcome. Okay, the next lot of books. The TBR for this month is a bit ambitious, but I'm gonna try. The next book that I really want to read this month is this one, Hani and Eshu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagradar. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm so sorry if I'm not. It's my ridiculous accent, but this is her second book. Actually, this is Adiba's second book. I read The Henna Wars, which is right there. I read that last year, absolutely loved it. It's wonderful. But this here is her new book. This is about our main character, Hani Khan, and you know, she's pretty and popular, has loads of friends, and then she comes out as bisexual, but her friends don't believe her. And that's terrible. And our other main character, Ishu Day, isn't really very popular. But she really, really wants to be head girl, and so in order to get herself to be more popular, she decides to hang about with Hani, and they basically kind of do this like fake dating type thing, hence the title. They pretend to be dating because Ishu wants to be popular, and obviously Hani wants her friends to take her seriously when it comes to her being bisexual. So yeah, it goes from there. That sounds like a really crappy synopsis, but I'm super excited to get into this, like, because I loved and adored the Henna Wars so much, and I know I'm going to love and adore this. So yeah, the next book that I want to read in the month of June is Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. This is kind of like a gay retelling of Grease, which, I mean, I love the musical Grease, so when I heard about this, I had to pick it up. But basically, it's about these two boys called Ollie and Will, and they spend, you know, perfect summer together, and, you know, everything's great and lovely and smells like roses. But then the school year starts, and obviously, you know, Will goes back to his school and whatever, and Ollie is obviously the new student at that school, and then he arrives there, he sees Will, and he's like, oh my goodness, there's Will, oh my goodness, this is perfect. But then the Will that he knew over the summer is not the Will that he sees here in school, and, you know, he starts to wonder, like, was the guy I was with over the summer the real you, or is this the real you? Like, what's going on? So I'm super excited to get into this one. Super excited. So the majority of the books I have here are contemporary, so like, even though it's ambitious, I feel like I can get through all these. The next book I want to read is Meat Market by Juno Dawson. Another one that's been on my shelf for a really long time. It's about this girl who becomes a model, I believe. Yeah. Jana Novak is tall, gangly, sick to death of comments about her androgynous looks until she's unexpectedly scouted as a model and catapulted to stardom. So she becomes a model, but then she finds out that not everything is glitz and glamour in the modeling industry, and I think it might be quite dark. I don't know how dark it's going to get, but you know, I'll read it. And I think there is going to be a female romance in here, I believe. Yes, I mean, it's Juno Dawson, there's gonna be representation in there somewhere. But I am really looking forward to reading this. This will be, like, Juno Dawson is slowly becoming one of my favorite authors ever, so I'm super excited. The next book that I want to read is actually a fantasy. Well, I think it's a fantasy, like fantasy dystopian. Black Wings Beating by Alex London. I'm not altogether too sure what this is about. Obviously, it involves birds. Let's see. The people of Ustar have long looked to the sky with hope and wonder. Nothing in their world is more revered than the birds of prey, and no one is more honoured than the falconers who call them to their fists. So I know it's about two twins. One of them really wants to be a falconer. The other one, it's a boy and a girl. So the girl really wants to become a falconer. The boy, not really so much. He just wants to live a normal life and be with his boyfriend. So there's a male romance in here. And I'm thinking, and it says, but a war is rolling towards their home. So yeah, there's a war happening. And that's really all I know. I'm really excited to get into this. It's a nice floppy paperback. We love floppy paperbacks. So if anyone has read this, let me know. Is it good? Did you enjoy it? If you've read any of these, let me know if you like them. The next book I want to read is not an LGBTQ book, although I don't know. There could be rep in here and we just don't know about it. Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder back in January. Yes, it was January because I read it for the Friends Readathon. And this is the sequel. And I adored A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I gave it 5 stars. And I'm really hoping that I love this one as well. Our main character, Pippa, she says she is not a detective anymore. She's done solving mysteries. She just wants to, you know, get away from all of that. She's doing a podcast. And then someone quite close to her goes missing. And no one really wants to do anything about it. So naturally, she has to kind of pick up the reins again and be like, right, well, I guess I'm the only one who really cares around here, right? So I'm super excited to get into this because A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was just wonderful. I didn't see anything that was coming in that one, so I'm really hoping it's going to be the same for this one too. If anybody's read this, let me know. Is it worth it? The next book I want to read is another one that I cannot believe it's taken me this long, but it's The Black Flamingo by Dean Ada. This is told in verse, so I'm going to be listening to the audiobook for this. I believe Dean Ada narrates it himself, and yeah, it's about a black queer teen who basically becomes a drag queen. Yeah. This is not about being ready. It's not even about being fierce or fearless. It's about being free. Michael waits in the stage wings wearing a pink wig, pink fluffy coat, and black heels. So, one more step will see him illuminated by spotlight. He has been on a journey of bravery to get here, and he is almost ready to show himself to the world in bold colors. So yeah, I think it goes from him being quite young all the way to like his 20s, I want to say, or like university age. I'm not entirely sure, but we basically follow his life and, you know, him coming out as gay and then discovering the world of drag and all that. So I hear it's actually really quite emotional, so I'm ready for tears. The next book I want to read is actually one of the books that my sister got me for my birthday, and it's Camp by L.C. Rawson. This is about our main character, Randy, who goes to the same summer camp every year, and he has this crush on this boy, but the boy hardly notices him. So in order for the boy to notice him, he kind of tries to change himself in order for this boy to like pay him any kind of attention. And yeah, kind of just going on from there and the consequences of that, and is it really worth it to change yourself for love? And even if he does change, is this boy even still going to give him the time of day? So we don't know, but we'll see. I'm really, really excited to read this. The next book that I'm going to read is one you're probably really, really shocked that you'll find out that I haven't read yet, and it's Life of Riley by Simon James Green. I know, you have a Simon James Green book on your shelf and you haven't read it yet. Fake fan, I know. This is his middle grade book, and I meant to read it. I genuinely meant to, but like other things and other books just got in the way, but I'm gonna read this month. In June, I'm gonna do it. And I might review it as well, because I reviewed all of Simon's other books, so I may as well. So all I know is about this wee boy called Riley, and he's just not very lucky, you know? Like, he gets himself into all sorts of hijinks and awkward situations, which, you know, I'm here for, so can't wait to read it. The next book that I'm going to read is a very, if you heard it flop into my hand there, it's a very heavy fantasy book. I don't think there's any LGBTQ rep in here, but I mean, I don't know, there might be. It's a big book, but Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read From Blood and Ash last month, I believe. Yes, it was last month. It was one of the very few books that in April that I actually enjoyed. So yeah, this is the sequel, and I have Crown of Gilded Bones as well in my possession. I finally got my hands on the paperback of that book, but we're just going to focus on this one for now. It's a big, hefty book. See, look at that. She's kind of floppy, but not so much. But, like, I'm so excited to carry on with this series. Like, I'm so excited. Like, it's a fantasy romance, and I'm so excited. Like, I love fantasy romances, honestly. Like, those are the sorts of books that got me back into reading. Like, and the next book that I want to read is one that is everywhere at the moment because of a TV show, and that's Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I kind of wanted to read this before the show came out, but obviously that didn't happen. But I have been meaning to make my way through the Grishaverse again in order to read King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, which I have in my possession. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to listen to the audiobook for them. And yeah, I'm actually really quite excited because it's been a long time since I've read this series. So we're going to start with this, make our way through the trilogy, and maybe reread Six of Crows as well, and then read King of Scars and obviously Rule of Wolves. So I'm really excited to read this. Do you want me to review this? Should I? Like, second time I'm reading it, should I review it? Let me know. Anyway, that's my TBR for June. I hope you enjoyed this video. My Twitter and Instagram are down below. I'll leave a link down below to my May wrap-up as well. I hope you're all having a lovely day. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye.